going on, guys? Snag here, and it's time to wrap up round 2 of the 2024 NRL season, and dang, what a round it was, man. That was absolutely nuts. Now, just before we do get into this, guys, new mic, I need your help. Can you just let me know if the sound is okay, how it sounds, whether it's better, whether it needs to be turned up, down, whether it's crackly, blah, blah, blah. I've tested it, it sounded fine, but I've got really bad ears from working in nightclubs for too long. So let me know, guys. That would be much help. You know, that'd be absolutely awesome, guys. So let's get into it, guys. Man, this round killed me. Absolutely killed me. I'm telling you, rugby league's in a great place, man. This is so good. All right. Oh, wrong. That's next week's games. All right, guys, so we will go through all the results. We'll go through each game individually, check stats, do all that stuff, talk about what teams could do what better and who's looking good, who's not, blah, 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 and then go into just have a look at next week's games as well, guys. So, and the ladder. We can look at the ladder now, guys. Damn, how good. Broncos, Bunnies. Broncos get it done, 28-18. Sharkies versus Bulldogs, 25-6 to the Sharkies. Panthers beat the Eels 26-18. Raiders got it done against the West Tigers 32-12. Cowboys beat the Knights 21-20 in Golden Point. Storm beat the Warriors 30-26. Sea Eagles, damn, I got this wrong, it pissed me off. Sea Eagles 21-14. And this hasn't uploaded yet, but there we go. 38-0 to the Dolphins. Damn. So as far as tips go, we were absolutely murdering it. We're 5 from 5. Got this game wrong, but I did pick Warriors to cover the line, which worked. I actually won 11 grand on this game. So I don't know what it was exactly from memory, but it was we needed Coates to score, and he scored the most hectic skitzest try of all time. I'll put it up on the screen somewhere. And that paid out 11k. 11-1, had 1,000 down on it, and man, it was just, I've never been so blown away. Like, normally when a punt gets up, I'm like, yeah, this is sick, so good, crazy. This one, I was just looking like a mental patient, I couldn't believe it. I was like, there's no way that just happened. It was to the third or fourth replay. I'm like, I cannot believe that just happened. Like, 12 seconds to go. Jumps over somebody to score the most hectic try of all time. Best game-winning try I've ever seen. Like, when you factor in acrobatics and stuff. To me, Nathan Cleary's try, because it was a grand final and they were down with like a minute or two to go, that's the greatest try for me. But if you want to talk about acrobatics as well, not much better, man. But yeah, we were absolutely flying till here and choked on these last 3. I took this outside of here, and Warriors should have won. Should have been 6 from 8. They really tanked that one and then tanked these two. So we'll just when I thought I had it all figured out, I'm sitting there going, because normally it takes 6 to 8 rounds to really get a feel of how the game's going, but I thought I recognised my mistake from the weekend before. I'm sitting there going, look, I made a mistake. I didn't trust my gut. So this time I trusted my gut. We get 5 from 5. I'm going, see, man, you're on, bro. You're on. And then boom. Yeah, all of a sudden the weekend looked pretty damn ordinary. Over 10 grand up though on the punt though, so can't really complain. That would pay for my Vegas trip next year, man. Hell yeah. So let me know how you guys went on the punt. Let me know what you thought about these games. Let me know if you had any good wins as well over the weekend, guys. You know I love hearing from you. Keeps me going. I don't want to just post videos and see people watch it. I want to chat and interact with you guys, man. I do my best to get back to everyone. If you got good chat. If you got rubbish chat, I probably won't reply. I'm not going to lie. So let's have a quick look at the ladder, guys. So we have Raiders on top. Who was saying the Raiders aren't going to make the 8? I did. But they're going to get a lot closer than I think everyone thinks, man. They look brilliant. All right, so the only teams that are 2-0 are Raiders, Cowboys, Sharks, Sea Eagles, Storm, and that's it. The Dolphins shot up from second last to 6th in one game. Jesus Christ. That is absolutely insane. And Bulldogs, Rabbitohs, Knights, Warriors, Titans and Tigers yet to get a win yet, guys. So, and everyone else is 1 from 2. So stuck in that logjam. That dreaded logjam from 7th to 12th. Or 7th to 11th. You don't want to get stuck in that too long, I'm telling you. You need... if you get stuck in this logjam for most of the year, you end up just burning so much gas to stay in the 8. You just get cooked by the top 4 teams. You really want to be in the top 4 from round 8 on. You don't want to be in this logjam. It's an absolute nightmare. All right, let's get on to the Broncos versus the Knights, guys. Let me know what you think about this one now. My man of the match for this one, I had Walsh, but I didn't think he was as good as everyone was saying. He looked brilliant. What else have I got? Reece Walsh there was all these weird errors at the start. Reece Walsh had a couple. That's what I mean. He was terrible at the start. I noticed Renault was kicking down AJ's side a lot early, like in their own half. And there seemed to be a bit of a strategy from them, and it worked. It was worked quite well. Both teams were awful. To the first half, I was sitting there going, Jesus Christ, is this a Vegas hangover? This is horrible. This is so bad to watch. And if we have a look at the completion rates here, you can see why I was feeling that. You know, people had both these teams for top 4 and possible premiership winners. And I saw my son played a trial game in under 14s today, and there was less errors, put it that way. Put it that way. It was putrid. And even he said, in his trial game, he goes, geez, that was ugly. And I was like, bro, not as ugly as the Broncos and the Rabbitohs. It was putrid. So the one thing that sort of, I think, reason why Broncos won it, I feel like both teams had superstars. I just felt like Broncos superstars stood up a little more. And that was really the difference. Reece was a little better, all that sort of stuff. And that was the real difference. I mean, Dean Mariner with that hectic try at the end. I mean, that was just freaky. Jesse Arthurs was brilliant. Dean Mariner, what a find. What an absolute find. It was pretty damn ugly. Both teams need to be better if they want to be top 4 teams. Broncos won the meters battle. Post-contact, pretty similar. Set distance, like it was very even. Like everyone was like, to me, it really was. Broncos had more superstars, and the superstars played a bit better. Play the ball speed the same. They definitely tackled better. 91% is absolutely brilliant. 21 missed tackles to 42, 15 errors to 14. But yeah, so a little bit better defense. Superstars stood up, and that's about where we were sort of at. But yeah, it was pretty ugly, man. But unfortunately, some fallout for this one. Looks like Reynolds is gone for at least a week or two. MCL, I believe. And Payne Haas has done his knee as well and not looking likely, which would explain why the Broncos are paying $3.42 to beat the Panthers next year. Penrith are good. They're not that good yet. The Penrith don't. So, bookies, I've always said this, bookies know when players are playing before we do. And I'd say that's a Payne Haas is out as well. Price. But look, man, Bunnies, what they could do better. They played their best footy through the middle. Havili, they've got to find a way to bring him into the game. Cam Murray through the middle. Clyde Matung, just play more direct and through the middle. They kept trying to go around Brisbane. They're so used to being so good at going around teams. They weren't, it just wasn't good enough. And both their tries, or other than the Latrell one, both their tries that actually kept them sort of in the game, it was through the middle, or at least within the tram tracks in the middle sort of thing. Thought Havili was brilliant. Just want to touch on Payne Haas. I mean, this is a monster effort with a bung knee. 186 metres, 18 post contact. Sorry, one sec. 2.88 second play the ball. That is so fast for a big dude. 100% tackle rate, 24 tackles, 0 misses. That's so good, man. That's so damn good. Thought Reece Walsh was good. Who else was good? No, Adam Reynolds, 2 converted. Yeah, but yeah, it wasn't great. Both teams need to be substantially better. But Broncos get the dub. They get on the board, and Bunnies. Who have they got next week? Oh, they got the Roosters next week. Bunnies could be 0-3 to start the year, man. 0-3 to start the year, man. That's crazy. Sharkies. Sharkies. My man of the match in this one was actually Talakai. I know you're probably thinking, what the hell? My man of the matches aren't necessarily the man of the matches that that the Channel 9 and all that give. I look for the dudes that put in the work, and Talakai took every tough curry and won every single time. He's an absolute monster, man. I would not want to tackle that dude. Look, Doggies were a little unlucky here. They lost a player. Was it Famasili, first carry, when they're already light in the middle. Yeah, Doggies score when there was a sin bin. Look, Doggies look good. Look, I'm on the fence with the Doggies, man. Like, everyone's sort of saying we're doing better than last year. We look great. I don't know if people remember, but Doggies were actually pretty good at the start of last year. They were putrid at the end of the year. And they are playing better than they did at the end of the year. But I don't know if they're playing that much better than they did at the start of the year. They beat Melbourne last year. I don't know if people don't remember that, but they beat Melbourne last year at the start of the year. They were handy, really, really nice. So I think this is a problem, man. And this is, we'll talk about it glass half full, and we'll talk about it glass half empty. And I'm leaning towards the empty side, but yeah, we'll let me know what you think the Doggies go on now. Obviously, like I said, they were in this game. Like, this score actually does flatter the Sharkies a little bit, and we sit there and go, all right, Parramatta, Sharkies, two possible top 4 teams. We hung around both games, looking better than we did last year. Or we could. To me, the only thing that matters is results. Like, at the end of the day, two 13-plus losses, conceded 52 points, if my math's correct, in 2 games, scored 14 points. 6 of those 14 points were with Sharks had a man in the bin. So 13 on 13 this year, they've conceded 52, scored 8 points. We can sit here and say they're looking better. Results are saying not really. That's pretty bad, man. That's so what would they be, negative? So they've conceded 51, scored 14, so that would make it a negative 37, I think. So it's close. So already 40 in the hole in the for and against. Yeah, I mean, and this is the problem too, and this is why I'm a little glass half empty, and because I have compared them, I do have a longer memory than most people. Remember the Bulldogs at the start of last year? It is very easy to tackle hard, effort, gang tackle, all that sort of stuff at the start of the year. If they're looking good for 8 or 9 rounds, but they're 1 and 8, it's very, and you're out of the race for the top 8 already. It is very easy to flow, and that's what happened last year. They were they were going hard, they were tackling hard. Everything was, as soon as it became apparent they weren't playing in the 8, and players go like, players know, we suck again. As soon as players start having that conversation in their head again, if it does happen, I think we could see a similar thing to the end of last year, because this is the thing last year, right? So last year, I think at the end of the year they conceded. This is what I'm sort of talking about. At the end of last year, by their whole year, they conceded about 30 points a game. They were conceding substantially more than that at the start of the year. So that means at the start of the year they were conceding 20, 24. That's what they're doing now. So I'd actually, this could be false. It could be, or it could just be that they're 1 win away from clicking into gear, and I don't think they'll be top 8 still. But just, win every other game, or you know what I mean. Lose a couple, win 1, lose 3, win 1, lose. You know what I mean? To me, they're just on that tightrope right now, and they need a. If they can get 2 wins on the trot somewhere within the next 8 games, I think they'll be pretty good. But to me, they're like way closer to getting, way close to being a very poor team again than people are sort of giving it credit for. But I'm not trying to bash them. It's one thing to like. So Tigers won the Spoon last year and the year before. Last year they looked substantially better than they did the year before. Just to the naked eye, they actually did. They beat Penrith. They pumped the Cowboys by 60. They look great. They still only won 3 games. So it's looking better and actually getting results. And losing is contagious, unfortunately. So Bulldogs for me, I mean, who have they got next week? They've got the Titans. Perfect. Not an easy team, not a hard team. If they can get a nice, solid win here, they could be well on their way. But yeah, I've just from what I saw, I was just like, I think people are comparing the Bulldogs at the start of the year to the Bulldogs at the end of last year, when I've been comparing the Bulldogs at the start of this year compared to the Bulldogs at the start of last year. So, but look, man, got to be better completing if they're going to do anything. They did get pretty rammed through the middle, 1900 to 1500. But I mean, again, last year they were getting 1900, about 1100, so a bit better. Conceded 7 line breaks, got 4 themselves. Speed with ball was great, line speed. I mean, again, average set distance 42, that's up from last year. So I can definitely see some more positive things here. But missed tackles are still horrendous. 48, that's really bad. And 11 errors as well, 5 penalties conceded. So yeah, definitely not... Yeah, definitely. Like that's what I'm saying. The stats sort of don't lie either. I mean, that the stats we just read is from a bottom 4 team, just the way it is. But yeah, they hung in there. Give shout out to Mulatalo. We hit him on our try score. 205 metres, 2 line breaks, try assist, 5 tackle breaks, and Sifatalico 150 metres, every single one earned. Sometimes players can run for 200 and you're like solid, but you know what I mean. Maybe they've got a line break, they've got a bit of a whatever. Every single one of those 150 was absolutely earned. It was hectic. Jesse Ramian, I thought, was pretty solid. Will Kennedy looked sharp, man. I was expecting him to get a try in this one, actually. But he looked likely. All right, so this is the thing. Sharks were missing their 2 best forwards as well, in my opinion. Hammy Llewellyn and Royce Hunt. I dare say if they were in the team as well. It could have got a little nastier, especially with Farmasili going down early. Sharky got okay. Like Taft at fullback, look, he looked better, but still not great. Blake Wilson was good. Karaz, I love him on the wing. I explained the doggies about this before. I feel like they're a Rubik's Cube. There is a decent football team somewhere in here. Like they've got, on paper, they've like as far as players go, they've got really nice players in here. It's just figuring out the Rubik's Cube, where they all go. And yeah, it's tough. Viliami Kickout's best game in the Bulldogs jersey for sure. I thought Preston looked nice. Salmon was all right. Sam Hughes was okay. And Kurt Mann has to come on and give Reid Marnie a break. He really does. Yeah, I'm sorry, he's just not good. He just misses too many tackles. I mean, this was his lowest missed tackle rate in a very long time, and it was 6. I mean, it's okay. It's not the end of the world, but 6. If that's good for you, it's not good. That's scary, man. That's very, very scary. And I don't know. I just feel like he winds people up at the wrong times, gets shoving people and stuff like that. I don't know if it's the right energy, man. Not respect. I was about to say I lost heaps of respect to Marnie since he went to the Bulldogs. I just don't like the player he's become at the Bulldogs. I actually really liked him at Parramatta. Just good service, no nonsense, line speed, great, blah, blah, blah. I feel like he's trying to do too much at the Bulldogs almost, but I'd love to see him come off and have a spell, freshen up, and Kurt Mann play in the 9 as well. Kind of Tracy to fullback maybe, if you don't want to put Stephen Crichton in the thing. But look, all their big dogs got more touches, so it was an improvement on the week before. It's all you can ask for when you've been a bottom 4 team. All right. This game was hectic. Similar to the Bulldogs, just quietly, guys, as well. I don't think people realise how hard that would have hurt the Bulldogs losing a player in the first minute. I personally, they had the 18th man. You can trigger them if something happens. I personally think if a player goes down and is unable to come back after the first 5 minutes of the game, just 5 minutes, I think you should be able to activate your 18th man as just a freak of nature thing. It's just, don't care if it doesn't happen, but I personally, it is such a massive advantage to be playing a full game with an extra player. I know you don't have an extra player on the field, but an extra, and quite often, if it's not a HIA or whatever, you say someone blows their knee out, you've got to use an interchange as well. So you're down a player and an interchange a minute into the game. I think if a player's just ruled out, Cat 1 blows their knee out, whatever, breaks their jaw in the first 5 minutes of the game, I think you should be able to activate your 15th, and would have done well for Parramatta as well. I think it was within the first 5 minutes, but Bailey Simonson got knocked out, and they were never the same. They were never the same since he went off. They don't carry a back on the bench. All big boys. Brandon Hands is a hooker, so Tuolangi came on, and this is the thing that I love. Sorry, just quietly. You can always see what I've been shopping for over the weekend on my videos. I just bought a bunch of dunks, then my cookies got me. So if you see fucking adult toys on here, you know I've been up to no good, man. Like, you know I've been up to no good. I just bought me a bunch of dunks and now they're popping up everywhere. So not only did Parramatta have to put someone out there, they put a slow second rower out there. I thought that was a bit of an L. I thought Bryce Cartwright should have gone out there. He at least can move. I get probably why he didn't, was probably Bryce is such a strike for them on that right second row that maybe didn't want to mess that up. But Tago was just getting line breaks at will. Like we'll have a look at Tago's numbers. Like, this is just insane. Like, these numbers, like, some centres don't get these numbers in 2 games. I'm not kidding. So he got a try, 245 metres, 40 post contacts, 6 line breaks, a try assist, 9 tackle breaks. 6 line breaks in a try assist, 9. Like, he was untackleable. Like, he burns good centres, and now you got not a big, like, when I say slow, I don't mean slow. Tuolangi is a massive second rower. Like, he could easily play prop. You know, he's not like one of the slender, you know, like Ben Travojevic, slot straight into centres. No problem. Like, he's actually built more like a centre. Niokora and Niokora both can slot straight over. But Tuolangi's a massive second rower. It'd be like Ola Kawatu or something trying to jump in there. And Parramatta did so well because Penrith knew they could just go down that edge at will and either get points or a line break. And for Parramatta to keep it close, man, with all that going on, you got to take your hat off to them, man. I thought they were absolutely brilliant. Tago was my man of the match for this one. But I thought Dylan Brown looked absolutely silky as well. But yeah, left an absolute gaping hole there. But yeah, it was all over from there. But shout out to Parramatta, are much better than I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be better than everyone else thought they were going to be, and I think they're even a little bit better again. And you know what I was thinking this whole time? I was thinking, man, if Zach Lomax was in this Parramatta team, I think they're a genuine premiership threat. They're just that one strikes outside back off. Just absolute, just being really, really good. Like, I was watching, I know, bloody Dragons just got pumped. If things keep going bad for the Dragons and Parramatta can somehow get their hands on Zach Lomax, he slots straight in. All of a sudden, your outside backs is Will Penasini, brilliant, Mika Sivo, Zach Lomax, and then Bailey Simonson or Russell, whoever you want on the edge. So 3 out of 4 are just tick, 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 tick. And all of a sudden, you've got genuine strike everywhere. You've got strike in the middle, strike on the edges, 2 of the best halves. Really good forward bench rotation. Striker, the fullback. Clint's a great ball player. One thing Clint has to do, man, he has to find a faster play the ball. So many Parramatta sets start so slow because he gets pinned on his back, held down. I actually think the refs are a little rough on him. I think players get, I don't know why, maybe the refs just don't like him, but you seem to be able to hold down Clint Gutherson a little longer than every other fullback in the comp. Just something I noticed. But yeah, it was a scrappy, pretty ugly game. Fisher Harris injured as well. Bailey Simons and Tuolangi ended up smacking Liam Martin and dislocating his shoulders. He's going to be out for a minute too. But yeah, look, Parramatta, I mean, completed better. Time in possession, roughly the same in the end. Couldn't stop the meters, but like, these weren't forward meters. I thought Parramatta's forwards actually, because Fisher, just keeping Junior Paulo on the bench is absolute genius, man. Like that is, like they were. Like, offering Gowie and RCG smacked Fisher Harris. I was sitting there going, what? That was hectic. Absolutely crazy. They actually held their own. They scored first. Joey Lussick was pumping through the middle. They actually held their own against that pack. Fisher or whoever went off. Junior Paulo came on. It switched. Parramatta are on top. Like I said, the only thing that was really... The only reason I just knew Penrith were going to win pretty much the whole game was just because Bailey Simonson... Was it Simonson or the... Yeah, Bailey Simonson went off early. You know, so... Yeah, it was I thought Parramatta's full-pack held their own. I thought Junior Paulo coming off the benches... It's weird, like, people think coming off the bench means you're bad. Like, I think your bench is so underrated in game of rugby league. You can just switch the game like that. 9 line breaks of 3, 6 of those were Tago's, remember, on that edge, though. So if you take those 6 off, 3 to 3. Tackle breaks, same, 35, 36. Average set distance, again, take 20 metres every time Tago ran the ball off that. You're about the same. They definitely did win the ruck. 83 to 85, so Parramatta actually tackled better, even with that gaping hole. Again, very unpenrith, 13 errors, but yeah, man, it was like 35 missed tackles, and that was with, again, Tago just probably causing about 8 of those. Like, what do you get, 9 tackle breaks or whatever? Parramatta, man, like, you got to take your hat off, man. They're a lot better than people thought. But yeah, these numbers, man, I mean, Jesus Christ. And this is another thing I wanted to touch on as well. A lot of people have been saying about this new downtown rule, who will it help and who will it stop. Now, the funny thing was, when they announced the downtown rule, I never actually did a video on this, but I was like, oh man, this is going to help Penrith out so much. like they need help. And then I started seeing all these memes and stuff come up about how Penrith, good luck winning now with not being able to do blockers in downtown. And I was like, bros, are you cooked? Are you cooked? That's going to give Taruva, Tiny May, Tago, and Edwards more space. And I said, bro, we're going to see multiple 300-metre games from those back five. And then this is a perfect example. Look at this. 262, 245. Tiny May was, on the lower side at 147, which Herbie Farnworth, by the way, was one of the best yardage centres last year. He averaged like 155, and Taruva's 134. They were kicking to the other side though. Brian To'o 243. I'm like, this rule helps Penrith. I'm like, you really think giving their back five more space is going to harm them? Oh, it's just, what I mean? Because it's both sides. Like, yeah, Penrith do run blockers, but you think they can't adapt to that? Like, Nathan Cleary's the best kicker in the game. Of course he's going to adapt to that. So, yeah, this was nuts, man. Absolutely nuts. And I really enjoyed the matchups. Who was it? Was it Penasini on Tiny May? That was a good matchup. Two of the best young centres coming through. I thought Jerome was a bit quiet. Cleary was good in moments. Mitchell Moses isn't 100%. They've got a short turnaround too. He needs, I dare say, a week off. Probably can't afford to, now being 1-1. But yeah, he was clearly not moving as freely. He wasn't hampered, but he wasn't attacking the game like he normally does. Bloody 9 out of 10 for Regan Campbell-Gillard. Joel Frankowie was good. Fisher Harris. But yeah, it was a solid performance. Liam Henry got to see a bit more of him. He looked nice. Dane Laurie didn't get on the park, unfortunately. Man, Parramatta would have killed to have him on the bench. Bring a centre in. Jesus. Well, let's leave it there. I don't want to talk about Penrith all night. Jeez, we've talked Penrith enough for the past 3 years. Now, Raiders, West Tigers. Now, this is a first look at the West Tigers. It was pretty damn good. My man of the match was Hoskins. He looked absolutely brilliant. So at the start of the game, it did look like Canberra were going to win 60-0. Tigers came back and looked great. Now, this is sort of my take on this. And so the first 2 tries, boom, early. Look, what people forget is it was Tigers' first hit out. That was a little bit of rust, a bit of lapse in concentration. And then they conceded another try not long after that down a short side, just a short side play. This is the Tigers last year. We're going to have a look at the stats in a minute, and you'll actually see they're quite even. And this happened heaps last year. It's just lapses in concentration. Now, let's just say, for argument's sake, those lapses in concentration didn't happen in the first 2 tries and the short side where they just literally tapped the ball and passed it to an edge and went over, which is just straight lapse in concentration. They didn't do anything special. You take that 18 points off, the Tigers still lose, but it's 18-12. Respectable score. It's not too bad. And I felt like they were doing that a lot last year, where I'm sitting there going, I actually thought Tigers were almost better than the other team. But then, and I don't think this is one of those situations, but you get what I'm saying. Like so completion rates, I mean, look, and I'll give the Raiders a wrap in a second. 81, that's great, absolutely brilliant. I mean, they did get beaten in the forward battle there, but a lot of these were line break meters. But look, play the ball speeds are not too far off. Average set distance, both 44. They won the offload battle. There's, They actually tackled a bit better tackle efficiency. They had to do a lot more tackling, obviously because of all the extra possession and stuff like that. But yeah, their numbers aren't horrendous. It was just those 3 lapses in judgment that made it look horrendous. Having said that, Canberra were better and deserved to win. Canberra. I said this before and I'll say it again. I don't think Jack White was as big a loss as everyone made out. I think they completed roughly this last week. In the last 2 years, someone tagged me in 2 games where the Canberra Raiders completed over 90% with Jack White as a primary ball handler. Well, no, that's a basketball term. Primary playmaker. Didn't happen. This is how you win games, lad. This is... I'm telling you, man, Canberra are going to be good this year, man. I still haven't locked them into my 8 because I still feel they lack a little bit of strike power. And I feel like if they get an arm wrestle with a really good team like a Roosters or something, or the Broncos, if it's close and arm wrestling, sort of like we saw, Reece will just go joink, or you get what I'm saying. I feel like they are probably a superstar short of cracking those big games, but they could easily win as many games as they lose this year, like easily, and that will possibly get them into the 8. Raiders look good, man, and I'm telling you now, Zach Hoskins could end up being buy of the year. Zach Hoskins is the one player that went to Penrith that didn't look better at Penrith. He looked really good at the Broncos. He went to Penrith, he was all right. But normally when players go to Penrith, they go up to a new level. He just looked okay, and now he's gone to Canberra. He looks $1 million. He didn't suit their system. He looks much better at Canberra, and he could seriously be buy of the year. He looks nice, really nice second row. Let's not go through too many of these stats. Is there anything worth talking about here? Bull was okay. I mean, let's have a look at the Raiders. I thought Papali'i was brilliant. Ethan Strange was nice. Oh, Jamal Fogarty has an absolute cannon for a boot. Where did that come from? If he had that in his bag the whole time and Jack Whiten's been doing all the kicking last year, that's just rubbish. Jamal Fogarty's kick... I was so impressed with his kicking game last week, and this one was better. His bombs are hectic. He's real nice. He could win Most Improved Player this year. I don't know what his contract is, but he's well on his way to getting a jumbo upgrade. If Jamal Fogarty leads this team as the primary playmaker into the top 8, he's getting a monster pay rise. Thought Tupoko was nice. What, he got 208 metres, and yeah, but look, it's actually a pretty damn good game, to be fair. I actually really enjoyed it. And like I said, Tigers just have to get rid of those concentration lapses, and they'll be fine. It's just little things like 3 dudes will be in a tackle and all 3 will go to marker. I'm like, bro, show me where that Penrith have done that once over the last 4 years. And it happened twice yesterday. Stuff like that, man. Just little things. But, man, I tell you what, it could have been a lot uglier, and I thought it was going to be after 10 minutes. It was going to be bad. Oh, onto the dud. This was the worst, most entertaining game of the year. And I lost this multi on this one, actually. My man of the match for this one was Dearden. Cowboys errors. Their errors were just dumb ones too. They didn't find touch twice off penalties. Val Holmes had 3 or 4 knock-ons. He missed 2 easy conversions. He missed a penalty goal. I actually think, I genuinely think the Cowboys had money on Knights to win this, because they were just trying to get the Knights to win it, and what's alarming for the Knights is they couldn't ice it. They should have won this. The Cowboys were that bad. Knights, then they weren't great either, but even an okay team probably would have won this 13+, and the Knights were just way off the pace, man. It was ugly to watch, man. And Val Holmes, I would have won a bet. All I need was Val Holmes to kick that goal from right in front. He'd already missed 2 or 3. I'm like, he has to get this one. He shanked it. All I needed to do was kick that goal to win the game. And I was like, come on, bro. So I went into overtime and I lost. Absolute stinker, man. Absolute stinker. Elliot Whitehead as well. Adam Elliott, probably one of close to the best on park in the losing team. He played great, but not many other people did. It was yuck. Dearden looked average. Just everyone, At half time, it's hard to bag them because they won. They got it done. And sometimes you do just have to win ugly, but I was sitting, everyone that listened to my post video last week, I sat there and go, man, I think these Cowboys might be the ones, man. They look nice. And then they come out and just look so bad. Like Townsend was just so bad. Dearden was good. But even Laybutt murdered it the week before. He wasn't bad. He was just so average. He just so average. Just so average. Nanai was pretty nice. Elam Lukey up for 6 to 8 weeks, which is horrible. This guy came on, Finafiyaki, is that how you say his name? He looked nice. But not much to really write home about, guys. It was pretty damn filthy. And this is what I'm worried about for the Cowboys. I'm just like... Because if they did play a good team, they would have got hammered. Nearly said the wrong word and got demonetised. Look at this, a winning team, 71%. But this is how bad they were. This is insane. This is an insane stat. So they actually completed 71% lower. They had 52 sets, right? Only completed 71% and still completed 4 more full sets than the Knights did. That is so insane. They had 52 sets. 52 sets. And only completed 37. That is crazy, man. I've never seen that before. Never, ever, ever, ever. Even with 52 sets, you ran for 1,500. 5 line breaks, 24 tackle busts, all pretty even. Just so low. Average set distance, 30 metres. So bad. They were quick in the ruck. Cotter's got a quick play of the ball. What else we got here? Nothing too much. Kick defusals, 90%. Tackled, right? 90%. 21 missed tackles, not too bad at all. 2 intercepts. This is the weekend of the intercepts, man. And the weekend of the outside-inside ball. That was nice to watch too. But yeah, 10 penalties conceded. Jesus Christ. And like you essentially got 13 when they got 5 back themselves. But yeah, it was just so ugly, man. It was so ugly, but it was sort of entertaining. Like it was so hectic. Jesus, are these stats even worth looking at? Let's have a quick look-see. No, nothing to write home about there. Yeah, it's just ugly. And Kyle Felt, line break assist, try assist, 2 tackle breaks. Just everyone looked off. Hopefully this is one of those games for the Cowboys where they just stunk it up. And sometimes you just have to win ugly. So I'm going to stay glass half full with the Cowboys, but you're damn close to me spilling out a little bit of the water and giving you a hiding on this video because you were poor. You were poor. But every team's entitled to a stinker. It just can't go stinker, good game, stinker, good game, stinker, good game, stinker, 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 good game. Like the stinkers have to be far and in between. Was Melbourne. The game that won me 11k. This was so insane. So just, I don't really need... Melbourne got on top and I was sitting there early, first 20 minutes, and I was sitting there going, oh man, this is going to get ugly for the Warriors. They looked real nice. And I was pretty impressed with them last week. I wasn't quite nut riding them as hard as everyone else. I thought Penrith were more bad than Melbourne were good. But I was still like, they look good. I was like, and I saw some things where I was like, oh geez, you put Munster and Big Nas back in here and they're a problem. But in this one, I was like, yeah. And then, I know if people remember last year, if you've been following me for a while, Melbourne were always good in the first 20 minutes, but they kept running out of steam because they just lacked that punch. And as soon as the little bit of punch went out of Nelson's legs, they got steamrolled, trucked through the middle, and it happened in this game. Like, Warriors were better from the 20th minute to the 75th minute. The Warriors were better. Even Craig Bellamy came out and said that Warriors were better for the majority of that game. Storm was substantially better in the first 20 minutes. And Warriors came on, absolutely dusted them, and should have won. They really should have. But for Warriors fans, it took the skitzest try we've ever seen with 12 seconds to go to beat you in Melbourne when you were down half your spine. You know what I'm saying? I heard someone say, oh, Nelson and Munster out is a bigger loss than CNK and Wade Egan is to think. I have no doubt Nelson and Munster are better players than those two players, but I actually feel like those two players are almost more important to the way the Warriors play, a bit more, if that makes sense. So I do actually disagree with that a little bit, just because Melbourne pump games when Munster's... We've all seen Munster play regular... Like, he always stands up in Origin on big moments and stuff like that, but there's games in Munster players in the regular season where you barely hear his name. Like, he's just passing and doing his thing, and he might have a little run here and there, but it's not that damaging. But the reason why he's the best player in the league is he just skits in the big moments, and he just always makes the right play at the right time. So yes, Melbourne were missing better players, but I actually feel like Melbourne were... the Warriors were missing two players. Like C&K gets their set started way better than Tuapiki, as great as Tuapiki was. And Wade Egan's direction and deception out of dummy half, enormous. But yeah, shout out to the Wars. You hung like shitty way to lose, seriously. But Melbourne look complete and high. Line break 7-4. Warriors run for more metres. Same amount of tackle breaks, 33-29. Warriors won the set distance, the average set distance. Melbourne were playing the ball relatively quick. It felt like they were. It really did. Offloads 9-8. Tackle efficiency 86-85, pretty similar. Errors 8-6, and then penalties conceded 4-8. So yeah, it was just one of those ones. But Warriors probably should have won this one. But hey, what do you do, man? You got to take that L sometimes. As hard as that L is to swallow, you just got to take it, move on. But Warriors are not far away from winning a game. I promise you that. Oh man, they are really not. I thought Pappenhausen was real good in this, and so good to see the outside in ball coming back into the rugby league. 162 metres, line break, 2 line breaks, 2 line break assists, 8 tackle breaks. The outside inside ball is just the nicest. When I was playing league, when I was like teenager, like the early 2000, mid 2000, 2005, 2006. Like it was huge. Like it was massive back then. Like you just spin it to an edge. Your fullback comes back in on that angle, you just give it to him. You don't score every time, but you almost, as a defender, when someone does it too, it almost startles you every single time because you're sliding and then someone comes flying back in. It's very hard to defend. And I hadn't seen it in so long, and I remember just going, why doesn't anyone do the outside-inside ball? And I just thought maybe it's not a good play or whatever. Like it's, clearly the coaches know more than me. But there was a few this weekend. I was like, oh, it's back, baby. The outside-inside ball. It's so good for fullbacks that aren't really good ball players. Tedesco did it today. Not the greatest ball player. Just go outside, back inside. You get Teddy going against the grain, against a sliding defence that's going this way through a gap. Magic. Absolutely magic. So good to watch. Yeah, so pretty crazy, man. Team stats. Oops, sorry, please. Let's have a look at the Wars player stats. Who's my man of the match for this one? Oh, Coates. Yeah. You can't score that try and not win man of the match. It was so quiet for the whole game too. Yeah, Dabble was good. 190. Hit every tackle with Venom. 2 tries. Looked brilliant. We had him as a try scorer as well. 2 line breaks. 196 metres. Looked sharp. AFB was just brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Looked real nice, but contained quite well. Like, you're never going to stop AFB, but contained very well. So, who else was good? Warbrick Knight. Nick Meaney, Jesus Christ. I think I might have been given a bit of a hard time in the preview of this video. Bloody good. Pezzett hit or miss. Jerome Hughes looking at a few weeks on the sideline after pushing the ref over. Tui's first stint I was really impressed with. Josh King's doing the best he can with his limited physical attributes. I'm saying he's a bad athlete, but he's pretty good footy. He's slow. He's stiff, but he gets through work and he's a workhorse. But Jesus Christ, I feel for players like that, man. So they're just like, why can't I be built like Payne? Why am I in this body? Katoa was real solid in his first. Joe Chan was okay. Luke Diero. Welsh looked okay when he first got on, but yeah, the bench was actually pretty damn happy. Warriors bench destroyed, man. It was absolutely nice. Love Dylan. Bunty looked the best he looked. It was nice. I thought something that sort of hindered the Warriors a little bit as well. Tohu Harris went down. Bro was playing for a penalty though. Tohu, man, you're too good for that. You play for a penalty and then you get pulled off for a HIA. Don't you be complaining, bro. I love you, man. You're one of my favourite players, but you were playing for that HIA. Didn't get it. Didn't get the penalty. Sorry, you weren't playing for the HIA. You were playing for the penalty. You stayed down. You got a slight knock to the head. You stayed down. Doctor pulled you off, bro. If it didn't hurt, you get up and play it. The ref will blow a penalty if it was a genuine headshot, you know. So he went off, and then I can't remember someone else went off too. That's right, Berry went off, which had put Dylan Walker out to the centres when he was starting to carve up through the middle, and then Tavita Harris went off, and then it really softened their middle up just for a little bit. They were still actually on top while this went down. But I genuinely think Warriors had them on the ropes, and I think if they had Tohu Harris and Dylan Walker pumping through the middle, I honestly think they probably could have put a couple more tries on. So it was a bit unlucky there from the Warriors too. But hey, that's the game, man. That's the game we play. I said it, man. Seagulls can make the top 4. No one believed me. Everyone laughed at me. Said, "What are you talking about?" I got a message the other day. What are you thinking? I'm thinking they just whooped. The Bunnies and then the Roosters back to back without a full strength squad. That's what I'm thinking, lad. They look good, man. They look good. There was a few things I really liked about them. Brooks is the man of the match for me in this one. So in the comments after my TikTok video, everyone's like, "Oh man, Roosters played trash, bro." Nah, they defended hectic in this game. They had so many sets on their own line and turned them away. That was hectic. That was so good. With ball in hand, they made a few more errors than they would have liked, especially at the end of the game because scoreboard pressure. Bro, when they had ball in hand and didn't make an error, they looked sharp. They looked really nice. I'm telling you, man, a lot of those errors were forced errors. Manly are for real, man. I'm telling you, man. Seagulls, the way they played tonight, I mean, it wasn't ridiculously good, but they would have pumped a lot of teams 30 plus, for sure, absolutely for sure. They weren't great at handling the ball either. But look at this, through the middle, who does that to that Roosters pack? That's ridiculous, man. Look at these meters. This is insane. This is so good. Just before I go through this, Taniela Paseka, I honestly think could be the best prop in the game, eh? Maybe not the best. Sorry, he could be the best, but I think he could, AFB sort of slipped under everyone's radar for a while, and now everyone's like, oh, he's top 5 for sure. Everyone has AFB in their top 5 props in the comp. 3 years ago, no one did. I did, because I watched the game closer than some people. But I think Tom Paseka is dead. Taniela Paseka is dead set slipping under people's radars. As last year, I was saying he does have the best second stint in rugby league. He'll come on, do his thing, then he'll come back on in the second half. He looked unstoppable most of last year. Just didn't have much help. Man, he's scary. He's big Nelson size with a bigger motor. Doesn't have all that crazy aggression and stuff, but he looks like a big kid that doesn't know he's bigger and stronger than everyone, and I feel like he's found that a little bit. He is scary. He did slip under my radar a little bit because even last year when I was saying he had the best second stint in the game, I never rated him that highly. But I do, man. When they get Simply back, Josh Aloiai, Paseka, and Simply in the middle with Jake Travojevic, they're gonna be a problem, man. Seagulls for real are gonna be a serious problem for a lot of teams, man. They're gonna cook a lot of teams if this man here stays healthy. So yeah, here we go. So Manly look fit, sharp. Tyler May, bro, he played the first half. So for example, the Sharks game before, Toby Rudolph was blown after 10 minutes. Tyrrell May, I looked at and he played the whole first half in the middle, getting pumped, doing so much defense with the Seagulls attack, absolutely pumping them with all these extra sets. Bro wasn't sweating. Bro didn't have his mouth open. Bro didn't have his hands over his head. He was just standing there. He didn't even look. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He must be so damn fit. Seriously, there's something in the water with that May family, man. I was blown away. Like even like Moses Leota, bro. Like you see him come off the field after 25 minutes and like they're intense minutes, but covered in sweat. May played the whole half and was not. He just walked off like he hadn't. Like he. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. He was skits. He's so good, man. Manly had a real strong start to the second half, and just a great game plan. They just what I love about Manly this year is right. So this happens a lot, right? So Olakau'atu. Sorry guys, I'm not on the bag, eh? My nose started running randomly. So Olakau'atu got one-on-one with Kiri a few times, right? What I liked is sometimes a team will do something, have a little bit of set, and then they'll go away from it and try other stuff. Manly just kept pumping him. Just keep pumping him. We're going to get over him. And I did think they did. They ended up taking the try off him, but I just liked how they just kept attacking a weakness and they just kept going at it and it worked, man. They were great. If they complete a little bit higher in this game, it could have been a bigger hiding. It was absolutely nuts. And look, man, I'm telling you, Luke Brooks, how many carries did he have? Where is it? Luke Brooks, 15 runs. I reckon 10 of those runs, he nearly broke the line, and one of them he did. He looked dangerous every time he got the ball. This is another reason I had Manly up there. I've never thought Luke Brooks was a Batman. I said he could be the best Robin in the game. He just needs to be behind an organising halfback, and he's going to thrive. And man, honestly, I thought about this today. If Luke Brooks was at a good team this whole time, getting paid $600-700K a year, we'll be talking about him as one of the best number sixes to play in a very long time. But he unfortunately he was in a bad club with the weight of the world on his shoulders, getting asked to be Batman, which he isn't. It hurt him, man. Hurt his career a lot, but it's good to see him killing it, man. Look at that, 15 runs, 123 metres, line break assist, try assist, 3 tackle breaks, and just every time he could. That's not Munster. Like, yeah, he doesn't involve himself all the time, but every time Munster gets the ball, it's like something might happen, you know. And he's getting those vibes at the moment. It's scary, man. It's scary. It's really, really scary. You would not want to be playing Seagulls anytime soon. You'd be hoping they have some. And that's a scary thing too. They actually have injuries. Like Sipley is suspended. I believe he's back in 2 or 3 weeks, maybe next week. Saab's out for 4 to 6 weeks, and Schuster's coming back. There's a bit of strike there, man. Schuster might not get back in the team. That's scary. But yeah, it was pretty wild. It was a wild game. It was just so entertaining. It was just such an entertaining game. As far as, I mean, look, Teddy was good. What did he get? Line break, 3 line break assists, 2 try assists, 2 tackle breaks. Can't knock that. This is the problem, right? I was thinking about this, right? Because I was thinking about Jack White and where to play him, right? Sometimes you've got to put yourself in the other team's shoes. Like, would you rather Teddy taken 15, 20 odd runs? I know he had 15 this game, 2 by 18. But, like, you'd be stoked as a team if you, like, knew that Joey Manu was only going to get 10 or 11 runs. Like, I can tell you now, if you could, like, simulate the game, right, and they said, hey, how many carries do you want Joey Manu to get, like, over or under 10? Every team in the NRL will be like, under 10 carries, please. Like, no one wants Joey Manu to touch the ball that much. But unfortunately, these other guys, there's so many good players, he just doesn't get enough. I forgot he was on the field. I forgot Joey Manu was on the field. Like, he got the ball, and I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Joey Manu is playing. They've got to sort that out, eh? They've got to sort that out. It's a little concerning. I want Joey Manu. He doesn't need 20 carries, but he needs over 15, man. Give me 15 carries minimum. 15 to 20. But yeah, Roosters look good. Not too far off the pace. Not as bad as everyone thought they were. I thought they were pretty damn good. Just a few things to tinker with, in my opinion. Dolphins, Dragons. This was my biggest L of the weekend. I had Dragons to cover the line. Zach Lomax scored 6 points. That was an L. This was the Dolphins of last year, maybe even better. 90% completion rate, 1,800 run meters, 7 line breaks, 28 tackle breaks. Look at this, man. Absolute hiding. 46 average set distance. Whoa. Dragons had a quick play the ball, man. Jesus Christ. I've never seen a team win the ruck that hard and get pumped so hard, ever. Now, a player, everyone's going to say Hammer man of the match. It's bro right here, man. Actually, the man of the match for me, Wayne Bennett. They played so bad last weekend, and rather than pussycatting around, see you Sullivan, see you Tessie New, brought Katoa in. And I'm going to give Katoa this rap now. I haven't seen such a young half control a game of rugby league as a halfback, as well as Katoa, since Nathan Cleary. I've made some L calls in my lifetime, but the first 5 games I saw Nathan Cleary play, I said that dude's going to be the GOAT. I'd never seen an 18-year-old control a rugby league team the way Nathan Cleary did. I said, that dude's going to be the GOAT. Like, you should not be able to do that at 18. I think Katoa might be 19 or 20. But last year, I said the same thing. I'm like, Jesus Christ, this kid, like, he's nice. If you actually rewatch the game, so what did Dragons do good last week? Meters from Lomax, meters from Ravalawa, Sloan getting space. He dropped the ball on a dime every single time, right in that corner, right in Zach Lomax's or Ravalawa's corner. Just dropped it there. Not an attacking kick, not trying to get a result, just dropping it there, boom, tackle him. Zach Lomax didn't get meters. Doing it to Ravalawa, boom, he was not getting meters. It was the perfect game plan. It was just wore them down, and it was just it was like death by 1,000 cuts. It was just because a lot of we'll see how spaced out these tries are, but they didn't feel overly close together for how many tries there were. So 5-9, 47, 57. So there's a few relatively. They actually are pretty close together, a little closer together than I thought, but it felt like it was just try, death by 1,000 cuts, try, death by. It was just like Dragons did not have a hope. That looked like a reserve grade team. Everyone was sitting there last week going, we're not going to finish last. Today, everyone's saying, yeah, you are, bros. I don't necessarily think they're going to finish last, but that was masterful from the Wayne Bennett. That was masterful from Katoa. Like I said, for a young half, let's see how old he is. 20. There you go. 20. So he would have been 19 when I was giving him a rap last year for being able to control a team so well at 19. Like I said, man, this kid, I heard someone say the other day, I think it was Gus Gould, oh, there's no good halves under 20. I was like, well, I guess Katoa's not under 20, but I was thinking, Katoa's pretty nice. I don't know. Have you called a Dolphins game lately, my bro? He's real nice. Yeah, I'd be locking him up if I was the Dolphins. Jesus Christ. I mean, look at these run meters. 1,800 to 1,300. Here's a hiding, man. Absolute hiding. I mean, could have tackled a little better, but geez, that's it. But yeah, look, I'm not going to bag the Dragons because they just got completely outplayed, outmuscled. Hamaso was brilliant. Osako was brilliant. Really liked Avarillo there. I actually don't mind testing you, but I think Avarillo's better. Herbie looked great. Bostock looked good. Nicarima got knocked out. So that makes what Katoa did even more impressive because he didn't have the old vet there to help him out. He's just... Jeremy Marshall King took the biggest falcon of all time. I thought Kerr came on, brought on some great energy. Just brilliant. 10 out of 10 from the Dolphins. Absolute perfect game. 10 out of 10. Could not be better. Like sometimes when you see these scorelines, there's hectic offloads and teams are just getting a bit of confidence and throwing the ball around. This, like I said, this was just cool, calm and collected. See ya. See you, Dragons. See you later, Dragons. But yeah, Dragons got a lot of work to do. I'm sure they can bounce back. But yeah, they got a lot of intercepts in this game too. I just wrote that down in my notes. A lot of intercepts. Cool them. Nice notes. Oh, bro. All right, man. So what we go? We went 5 from 8 in this one. We're looking good. I thought we were going to go 7 or 6 at the worst, but 5 from 8, so nothing great. But let's have a look at next week's game before we wrap it up, guys. We've got Panthers versus the Broncos. Early predictions, Panthers, I'd say. Warriors, Raiders. Raiders, I love you. It's going to be tough. And Warriors seem to have your number last year. I remember they ruined Croker's 300th. Pretty bad there. Roosters, Panthers. I'm not going to call this one till I see team list, but Roosters look the better team to me at the moment. Bulldogs, Titans. I think Doggies can get on the board here. Dragons, Cowboys. I mean, I'm flipping this to the Cowboys real quick. These aren't my predictions, by the way, guys. I'm just preliminary thoughts. I don't pick teams until I've seen team lists. West Tigers, Sharkies. I say Sharkies get that one. Parramatta, Storm. So when Seagulls started carving up the Eels, started carving up the Roosters, I went into SB and I put $1,000 down on the Seagulls at $2.42. I could not believe they were outsiders like that against Parramatta, who looked good, but I was like Seagulls would probably beat Penrith at the moment. They look so nice. And Parramatta susceptible of getting punched in the mouth and missing players. No Sevo. Moses doesn't look 100%. Tuolangi's out now. Simonson might not play. So I was just like, got to jump on Seagulls on that one. And then we have Knights versus the Storm. Oh, Knights could go 0-3, lad. Oof. What do you think about the pink ones? I don't mind them. All right, that's it, lads. We're all done. Thanks for watching. You're all legends. You know you are. Thank you all so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you on the next one.